This week will mark the 1,000-day anniversary of the disappearance of little Madeleine McCann. Since then, despite scores of leads, global headlines, and possible sightings, Maddie remains missing. We're going to talk in a moment with a family spokesperson about where things stand today for Madeleine's parents, Kate and Gerry. But first, more now from NBC's Tom Aspel.
On May 3rd, 2007, 3-year-old Madeleine McCann, a British girl on vacation with her parents in Portugal, disappeared. Her parents were eating dinner that night with friends in a restaurant 100 yards away. All they found in Madeleine's room was an empty bed and an open window. Portuguese police launched a massive search but found no trace of her, no clues. With their daughter missing in a foreign land, Madeleine's parents could do little but pray for her safety.
Gerry and I would just like to express our sincere gratitude and thanks to everybody, but particularly the local community here who have offered so much support.
A month later, still no news on Madeleine. Kate and Gerry McCann met with Pope Benedict in an effort to keep her case in the public eye.
His touch and thoughts and words were more tender than we could have hoped, and that will help sustain us during this most difficult time.
There were scores of leads and theories, but no concrete evidence about Madeleine's whereabouts. It got much worse. 5 months after Madeleine's disappearance, Portuguese police declared her parents official suspects. Scores of reports that Madeleine had been recognized in Europe and in North Africa tantalized the McCanns with hope. But none of the reports produced any evidence that Madeleine was still alive. It was every parent's worst nightmare.
Obviously it was the worst thing that ever could have happened in my life. And the pain and the fear are indescribable, really.
Portuguese police eventually dropped the McCanns as suspects and reduced their investigation. Madeleine was declared a missing person.
There is no evidence that Madeleine is dead, and there's no evidence to implicate us in her death.
No evidence then, no evidence today. Computer-assisted images show the 3-year-old as she might look now, 1,000 days after she vanished without a trace. For her parents, the nightmare continues. Tom Aspel, NBC News, London.
And joining us now is Clarence Mitchell, spokesperson for Madeleine's parents, Kate and Gerry McCann. Clarence, good morning. Thanks for being with us today.
Good morning, Jenna. Good to be with you.
So as we mentioned, this week will mark the 1,000-day anniversary of Madeleine's disappearance. Can you tell her how her parents are holding up?
Kate and Gerry have good and bad days, as you would well expect, given that their daughter is still not home, as you say, nearly 1,000 days on. They draw greatest strength from when they sense there is momentum in the search and in the wider campaign to keep awareness of Madeleine high in the public eye. And so on Wednesday, to mark 1,000 days exactly, they're going to be holding a fundraising event in London, and they'll be surrounded by their long-term friends and supporters, so they will draw great strength from that. But it is very difficult, and they do find any anniversary or occasion like this to be very difficult.
We understand that Gerry and Kate have also hired their own private investigator. Can you tell us a little bit about how that investigation is going? Has it led to any leads?
There are lots of leads. Whether they're the significant one that will lead to Madeleine is the question. And no, have we found her yet? No, we haven't. It's a very small team currently looking into Madeleine's disappearance, led by some former British detectives, now acting as private investigators. They're doing a very thorough job of going back over all the evidence, all the Portuguese police files that were finally released after a lot of pressure from this end. And they feel that there is useful information still out there to be had. We still need people to come forward. If people go to the findmadeleine.com website, all of the contact emails and phone numbers for anyone who thinks they may have seen her or has any information about her should look at that website. That information will go straight to our investigators, and they are following it up on a daily basis. They go back to Portugal from time to time. They were back there recently. The work is very much ongoing. Although Madeleine isn't quite in the headlines as much as she was, the search is very much continuing, and there are hundreds of calls that are still being checked out.
Well, I understand that Gerry and Kate are attempting to block the sale, one of the new pieces of information out, and attempting to block the sale of a book released by a Portuguese policeman who says that Madeleine is dead and that her parents are suspects. Can you tell us where we are in that civil case right now, as if they need something else to continue to worry about?
Well, absolutely. That's the last thing they need. This is a book written by a former police officer who was removed from the case after he criticised British police in the inquiry some 2 years ago. He's written a book in which he makes those allegations. As you say, he claims that he believes Madeleine is dead and that Kate and Gerry know what happened. It is totally untrue, nor has he any evidence to make those wild, libelous allegations, and that's why Kate and Gerry have gained an injunction to stop his book from being published anymore. He currently is appealing against that, and we're expecting a ruling from a judge in February, mid-February. Kate and Gerry obviously remain very hopeful that the judge will do the right thing and ban the book completely. We don't like to take that sort of legal action, but the allegations this man is making will make people believe that Madeleine is dead, and therefore they won't look for her, and that will damage the search.
All right, Clarence Mitchell, we thank you so much for your time. Our thoughts continue to be with the McCanns in their search. Thank you.